Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
The heat and humidity have been a powerful 1-2 punch all day, and Mother Nature may have a few more jabs to throw at us during the evening hours.
There is a chance for rain, hail, and strong winds tonight, depending on where you live. Let's get the very latest on what our storm team knows. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea and Mike, and good evening, everybody. Yes, we do have a risk of severe weather as we go through time, a slight risk of severe into portions of northwestern Minnesota, and a marginal risk up and down the Red River Valley. Now, here's what it looks like so far on the radar. We are mainly quiet. We are starting to see some storms trying to develop, especially just off to the south of Fargo. We will watch these to see how much they develop as we go through time. Other than that, we are seeing some isolated storms, New Fulton to Roseau, into the War Road area, some isolated showers and storms. Hot and humid today. We got temperatures ranging from the mid 80s into the upper 80s across the area, and dew points are into the lower to mid 70s for most of us, but drier air is starting to work into our eastern counties. Now for Jamestown and Devil's Lake, it's a little less humid, into the lower 60s for dew points right now. So as we go through this evening, temperatures falling from the 90s through the 80s and the 70s, partly cloudy skies turning mostly clear overnight, and the best chance of some storms between now and say 5 hours from now, and we'll definitely keep you updated as to when. Then we are going to send it back to news.
Okay, thanks, Justin.
We have breaking news for you right now as charges have been filed against the woman whose 4-month-old son was found dead on Saturday in rural Stutsman County. 25-year-old Justice Lang had been missing for 4 days and told authorities she couldn't remember the last time she had her son. Last Friday, Lang was found wandering on a road east of Woodworth by a farmer. She was taken to the hospital in Fargo while authorities launched a search for the baby. His body was found Saturday afternoon after a 2-day search on an edge of a slough in some reeds. Authorities were unsure how long he had been there. The new charges include manslaughter and child neglect.
A judge has sentenced Lemore's former police chief to spend the rest of his life in prison for continuous sexual abuse of a child. James Watson was charged in both Golden Valley and Stark counties, as well as gross sexual imposition in Hettinger County during the summer of 2017. Watson entered an Alford plea in March to the charges in Hettinger and Stark counties. The plea is not an admission of guilt, but acknowledges there is enough evidence for a conviction. In February, a jury in Golden Valley County convicted him of continuous sexual abuse of a child. Watson was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole on some of the charges. There is the possibility of parole after serving 30 years minus time for good behavior.
We're also following a developing story for you tonight out of Hitterdal, Minnesota. 5 divers from Valley Water Rescue are searching a pond today for more evidence in the murder of Troy Yarbrough of Wahpeton. We were the only news crew at the search today, which started a little after 9 this morning in that pond about a quarter-mile away from the farmstead where Yarbrough was murdered. Divers found a piece of evidence last week in the pond that investigators didn't know they were missing. Today, 5 divers and 2 metal detectors were out searching for something about the size of a cell phone. However, after almost 5 hours in the water, divers came up empty-handed. 39-year-old Jason Jensen, 34-year-old Kayla Westcott are charged with aiding and abetting in Yarbrough's murder, and each are being held on $1 million bond.
Bail has been set at $500,000 for a Minnesota woman accused in the murder of a 2-month-old baby girl. 30-year-old Sarah Cortan of Red Lake Falls is being charged with second-degree murder. The Red Lake County Sheriff's Office says the baby's death was a result of injuries from a physical assault that happened at Cortan's home in Red Lake Falls last month. An autopsy showed that the injuries the baby suffered were from inflicted trauma. Cortan's next court date is set for August 14th.
An argument led to the arrest of a man who's accused of pointing a gun at another man. Trace Adams was charged with terrorizing. Police say it happened at 8th Street West and 2nd Avenue. The victim told authorities that Adams pointed a silver handgun at him and then fled the scene in a blue Dodge truck. Police found the truck and arrested Adams. The handgun was later recovered and taken into evidence.
Authorities in Walsh County are warning of a high-risk sex offender who has moved to the area. 42-year-old Jason Brown now lives in Park River, North Dakota. Court documents say back in 1994, Brown had sex with a 14-year-old female friend. Then in 1998, Brown was charged with solicitation of a minor, having sex with a 16-year-old girl on 3 occasions, resulting in a pregnancy. Lisbon police need your help finding these 4 people suspected of vandalism. The department posted this surveillance video to its Facebook page. Around 4:30, were caught on camera knocking a couple trash cans over. Police say no damage was done, but they are treating this as a vandalism case because of the way the report was made. If you know who these people are, you can call the Lisbon Police Department at 701-683-4141.
If you're a resident in the Dead Lake area of Minnesota, you're being urged by Otter Tail County Sheriff's Department to be vigilant of lake prowlers. This comes after a resident over the past 2 weeks has witnessed several individuals with flashlights coming off the lake and onto resident properties, appearing to look through windows. The reported incidents have been taking place in the wee hours of the morning, and now residents are speaking out.
It concerns me because we do have easy access from the lake up our dock and ramp, and it's pretty dark out there.
Stay with us tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW and on Valley News Live at 10. Hear how residents in the area are feeling and also what they're doing to prevent lake prowlers from coming up on the shore and striking their homes.
Deep fried candy bars, corn dogs, cotton candy, the food at the Red River Valley Fair is what a lot of people look forward to. And this year, it looks like you're covered. From fan favorites like mini donuts and cheese curds to deep fried Snickers bars and loaded pulled pork nachos. However, the fair is expanding the options even more this year, making sure everyone can enjoy a meal while they're having fun. The fair runs until Sunday, July 15th.
Speaking of food, the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue crew is set up and steaks have been served.
Let's check in with Hutch, who rarely misses a good meal. Hutch?
You're right with that one. Rarely miss a good meal and conversation with friends like this week's winner of the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue. It's Cindy Knoll. Cindy, where'd you sign up?
Fargo Cashwise.
Now, it's a wild crew you got here. How are the steaks, young man?
Good.
Did you get enough?
Yep.
All right, and then these two, they were doggone hungry, right? So who do we got here? Graham. Okay, yeah. All of us here really enjoying our time at the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue, and we'll check back in just a little bit, but the steaks are fantastic, and a few games out here to play, too, so maybe we'll have to challenge someone to a game of beanbag toss. So for now, Mike, we'll toss it back into the studio to you and Andrea.
All right, thanks so much. Later on Valley News Live at 6, cleanup shifts into high gear in western North Dakota, where a tornado ripped through an RV park.
Up next, a first-of-its-kind long-distance flight involving an aircraft that left yesterday from the Grand Forks Air Force Base.